Commissioner Easton to order. First order of business is a request to continue 33 Prospect Street
And 32 Canoe River.
and
Before.
32 Canoe River. Somebody make a motion to continue.
Make a motion to continue.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next up, 9 Mill Street. Pull up a chair and please fill out the form if you will, please. You got a pen?
Yeah, I'll get in mine. You sign it, Jim. We have
We didn't bring that, right?
You didn't bring it, so
Okay.
there might be,
let me take a picture.
okay. So the reason for 32 Canoe River, just while we're catching up, is about a notification problem for the 3rd. And 33 Prospect, we had a scheduling conflict with the applicant's representative when we moved the meeting.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here, as you know, this was continued from the last meeting, because there was some disturbance in the buffer zone. So I have here a picture of the project. So we did make some revisions to the plan as requested. So Jimmy has put down the erosion control. I don't know if you want to take a look at it or not. We have the erosion control in.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, I'll be down
Pretty
tomorrow.
stable out there, like you said in the beginning, but I did put it up.
Yes, things are starting to freeze now, so
Better to have it in place.
I mentioned the soils in the planting soils. We changed the terminology on the plan. Oh, planting soils. We showed detail on the plan of the area we're gonna plant. So that is 12 inches out. We're doing 2 feet out on each side from the tree ball. The restoration and timing is shown on, shown in here. We do have everything planned to be finished by May 15th of 2018, but there's also monitoring detail, and I believe we have a letter to the commission, but I can provide that on each visit.
Are there any grasses or anything being planted in the replication area?
We're gonna use the seedlings,
Okay.
the conservation seedlings.
So you won't be growing out till probably in the,
Yeah, that
June,
takes a little
May.
while to catch.
yeah.
So again, the timelines are shown on the plan. One thing we did forget to do is, John forgot to put on there is the wetland medallions on the fence. So we were hoping that you could do that put that on the order of conditions as a condition.
Sure. There's one consultant in town, an engineer in town who has a whole lot of them.
Okay.
And you can buy them from him at
Alright.
cost.
Sure. Did you ever have a chance to talk to the town about digging across the street?
This is the Conservation Commission Board, they're the owners of Mill Street property across the street.
Right,
They're
but
the
I'm saying,
managers.
remember we talked about working together with the town to dig a trench to make, because the pipe going across the street is filled with.
Remember, like your sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Stefano. Remember how you worked with Jack Marsh on raising
Yeah.
and fixing the pipe?
Mhm.
We were saying that, have you been out there on Mill?
I wasn't out there.
It's similar,
'Cause I was out of
similar.
town, so-
I work with Jack
Same
all
way
the time with
right.
water and stuff.
So we were thinking he could do the same thing to repair the pipe and bring it up. He
What's
could
in
do
there
that.
right now?
It's a 12 inch. I'm
12
gonna
inch
put
concrete.
two 12 inch, right, Karen? we're putting two 12-inch,
How deep down are they?
not even a,
Not even a foot.
not even a
So,
foot.
so they're collapsing right now? What's
No,
it now?
just,
So-
we're going with two 12 underneath my driveway and
Yeah.
across to, the conservation area there. And, I didn't know if we're going two 12s into one 12,
Mm.
it's not, I just would suggest that maybe we could work with the town and work together with Jack, and maybe when I go to do this, from there, I could do the digging and they could do,
Yeah, we thought you could,
he could supply the pipe.
work kind of the same way
Yeah.
you did, and that worked out well on your
Where it is
project.
shallow though, I'd recommend maybe we go with a ductile, but I'll talk to Jack about that.
Yeah, see what they
Cause he's
think.
got.
Yeah, well, this is your drainage you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
So
You're talking about
you're not
Mr.
gonna be talking to
Cassian?
Jack.
I'm
You're
sorry,
talking about Mr. Cassian, when you say Jack?
Jack Marsh?
No, Jack's water.
This is
Oh.
water,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna talk to somebody at DPW, okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, I'll have to work
So
with
probably, snow.
No, ski,
Jay
Jay,
Yeah.
Cassian.
he lives right around the corner from there.
Okay.
I had thought we were gonna, I thought you were gonna do a calculation on the size
Yeah, we
to
were
figure out how big it was, and
What
I
it
actually
means.
thought you were waiting on to do the culvert.
That's, yeah, we had planned to wait on it.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna get this
All
squared
right,
away, and then if you wanna go on, start your homework with DPW. But we're
Okay.
gonna hold off on.
I'm sure they're not gonna have an issue with it if he's gonna be doing the machine work in the town and we'll work with you.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
Okay,
We'll
so we'll,
supply the pipe.
I can't talk for them,
No,
but
no, I'll.
anytime there's an improvement and you're offering your,
You guys
Yeah.
brought it to my attention last time that we could possibly do that, so I was just bringing it up again.
okay, so you can talk to
Sure.
DPW and then
Sorry, Ken.
we'll do, no, that's okay.
Just tell me I'm not allowed to talk.
So, we are, proposing to remove siltation on the, street side of the driveway, the culvert between the driveway and the street. There's a lot of, siltation in there.
Yeah,
It's
over the
about
years.
6 inches, we're thinking, to get down below the pipe, or just below, just at the pipe, it's about 6 inches, so. So we've shown that in the plan also.
do you see that, Ken?
I'm good. I was there before.
And that's about it, so if you could do the wetland markers as a condition.
Mhm.
Remove the fence too, right?
So remove the fence.
So you could have access behind the garage.
Anything, yeah?
I'm good.
Work?
No, I'm good. I think there's,
No, I don't.
Members of the public?
I'm just curious how far that's going. Been talking about the front, I'm more concerned about the back.
Okay, if you could just come forward and just sign the form again, please, and just state your name and your address for the record.
About how that
And-
works.
Do you wanna take a look at the plan?
And,
I don't, I looked at it, I don't
no,
know.
please, you can,
Well, have her.
Just so you
she,
know.
she can explain, she's good. Thanks.
So there was some disturbance in the lot, so we're gonna replant that, remove some of the fill that was put in and replant it. So we're gonna,
I see where the debris was and the new
Gonna take
soil,
that out.
that some of that soil's being moved out.
Mhm.
Are they moving the water closer to the wall that's
we're
there
not changing the water,
at all?
no,
Okay, then I didn't have any
unless
problem.
this pipe becomes a discussion in the future.
Mhm.
So,
Now, that's my only thing.
so Mark, if you take a look at the plan, you can see there's a rectangular tan.
To the right,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the old foundation,
and then you can maybe see the blue,
yeah.
right through there. So that's where the stream bank is being reestablished? Does that look,
Well,
can you
Because
see?
20
where
years ago, it was, and I can't tell the property lines, but it was further this way. Somebody kept putting in the shrubbery and dropping mulch and land debris. So what used to be a fairly significant route became just a widespread
So that's in the back.
dam. Yes,
Back.
further back.
Yeah,
But
that's back.
now, because I'm here, I can't even see where I am, but I'm one of the properties here. This is him over here and this is me. So the water used to be all in here. Now it's working its way this way and it's just wider. It's absolutely soaked and it never used to be.
Yeah.
20 years ago, there was pretty much a stream.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I was wondering where they were moving it, whether that was going to get you know,
Closer to your property.
diverted, yes, that would
Yeah, no,
be
great question.
deeper and more, you know what I mean? That's my concern, because now all of a sudden I'm more concerned about where the wetlands and staying off the wetlands and.
Well, I think that part of the challenge too here is that the culverts coming out of this are clogged up.
Yes,
You know,
and that will
the
move
prop-
some
the
of it.
property owner does wanna, you know.
Yes, and no, and I don't
Yeah,
knock
we do
that.
it on
I'm
this
not
one.
knocking that at all, is to get the water out would make all that much difference. But the water that's coming from here that's been diverted is going 5 ways to get to their property line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's several properties back there into that area that everybody's got a
I
wedge or.
think what happened is that somebody brought trap rock in there, quite a bit of trap rock years ago. And I
Yep.
think some of that trap rock is starting to fill up with silt. So I think once we do this, it will alleviate what's the issue that's happening and have a consistent flow of the water where she's got it designed to go.
That's what I said, as long as the main route isn't getting closer to it, and then when that overflows, I mean, as it is, I already pumped my basement out to my side yard, you know what I mean?
Mark, how long have you been living there? I just want to question on
20.
Mill Street.
5 maybe years.
So is Mill Street where they're talking about future doing, because you're not at the next meeting, do you see a lot of backup over there? Right at the road itself?
There has been for the original property. Yeah, he might even know because he's been there 40 years, right? How long you been?
It's 37 years.
37 years.
But is it getting, with this failing right now, with the pipe not crossing right now, how much water do you see build up on the western side, on your side of it? Does it get pretty
It builds up not only at their property where the garage is, but what gets built up out back, like I said, spreads wide
bad?
now
Because
rather
of,
than
do you think
staying.
it's because of this
contained.
pipe being clogged up?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the pipe or just the way it gets to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even the stuff that was filled that they're talking about removing, when the water gets to there, it's got to back up to get around that. So I don't know
So you have
exactly.
elevation
You know what I mean?
changes
There's
too.
5 routes coming from Massapog at the other end where it originally starts
Yeah.
into that property.
Yeah.
There's 5 different routes. Whereas originally there was, you could see the main road, the
Okay.
main route there years ago. You could
Alright.
see it come through.
All right, thank you.
You know.
Do you have any, sir?
I don't have any questions at this point.
Okay, so I do want to talk a little bit about the wall, the trench, rather, Andrea. We did it, I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
We show a detail here. So what we're proposing around the driveway. So, let me put this on here. Put that in.
Can I ask one question? Sure. A property owner or developer?
Property owner,
Property owner.
well, property. In the property.
Resident.
Okay, so around the
Property resident,
the driveway.
To be resident.
property resident.
And the those pipes that go into the driveway, the wall is a little, the side of the,
There is no wall.
the side of the bank is a little,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Railroad tie.
eroding. So we're proposing to build that wall back up with boulders from the yard.
Fieldstone,
Where is
No,
that
they-
on the plan? Are you saying that you're going to do the rebuilding?
inside the driveway.
So it's here
Oh, yeah, okay, I can see
and
that.
here.
Yeah.
So we're proposing to build that back, just stabilize it with boulders in the yard.
It's gonna be any good use from nice walls out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. It's nice.
Out of
It's on
the, out
this
of the
drawing
beautiful
here.
fieldstone. but the-
Yeah.
It's on the drawing, it's online.
So, let me get
Sure.
It's about a maybe a 2 or 3 foot,
it's a
Grade.
2-foot
2 foot grade change.
trench.
Okay.
And we're gonna put, between the trench and the wall
Mhm.
that will be rebuilt, we're gonna put a 40mm liner,
Okay.
2 feet down.
I didn't. Is that on
On
the?
the
Is that on the
driveways.
detail?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
right here on the right.
Thanks. Okay.
So that will, you'll be able to drive over that. I know we had a question, we spoke about the area that, of the driveway, whether or not it would interfere with the passing of the cars, but you'll be able to drive over the trench.
I think it's what they're proposing to do around, this is where the trench is.
Oh, I got you, so that's a
Around the
collector
edge.
right there.
Yeah, around the edge of the driveway.
I got you, yeah.
Then put the field stone on the outside.
Yep.
of it.
Okay.
From what I saw, you're not actually going to be filling wetlands. You're going to be above the culvert and
Right,
to the
so,
side
yeah,
of it.
just to stabilize that, on that bank.
Are you proposing to change the elevation of the driveway at all?
No.
Okay.
The height of the driveway, yeah,
A little bit.
That's part,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
Has to
part
be
of
a little
doing
bit.
the,
like we talked,
Yeah.
right, the color.
but not the elevation, any pipes or anything, the
No.
culvert itself.
So the perimeter drain that you're putting on, it's on either side?
Yep.
So it's collecting, what is it, is it collecting the water from the driveway and?
No, it's collecting silt that's going into the stream,
Okay.
so that'll stop that, it's like riprap.
So does that have to be then, is there like a maintenance plan that's gonna be made for that? Some-
It's really stabilizing the driveway as opposed to
So
stormwater
once it-
management.
So once it gets stabilized, you won't get any more silt into that area, or it will just sort of?
Well, and he manually cleans it up. I think there'll probably be a future request to pave, but I don't know that for sure. I mean, that might be a future. Right now, we're just stabilizing the situation.
Okay.
I don't know that there isn't a future project.
What was the
Well,
recommendation?
we can check with the DPW and see if they're okay with the height issue, and then we can come back, maybe amend the order and come back with that.
Well, this is gonna be on your property though, I don't think they're gonna,
No, she's now talking about. She's talking about opening the road
The street.
oh, okay,
while he's there.
gotcha.
Which, if you wanted, I mean, you could identify that as an action that he should take as an enforcement remedy
Oh, okay,
or or
But we need the information on it, though, we need the calcs.
right, but that this information shall be filed by such and such a day, as opposed to.
Okay.
Good feeling. I wanted to point out while I'm talking that Stefan's notes had requested that he clean the silt from the stream and the pipe manually.
right, we had planned on that.
Okay, good. I didn't have that in my conditions, so.
It's actually, I think it's on the drawing.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I saw that when I was down there.
What's it have on one of the notes there, Roy?
It's removed by hand all sediment in the stream bed that is above the culvert inverts
Yeah.
approximately
Which-
6 inches.
Which note are you reading?
This is on drawing sheet 3 of 3 of the one dated 12/3. Stamped by an engineer.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's right there on the left hand side too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Take it down to the bottom of the pipe.
Can I show them the street? That goes next to there's a garage there, so. I
Oh,
want to
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
put some
wow.
line up against that garage too, since
Oh,
eroding that foundation.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
this
just
is-
got there September 15th, so I'm kind of walking into all this.
Is it a mile?
And I think I got there,
It's a
what's
mile.
the
Salmon,
19th?
so see-
Did you see that?
Yeah.
You guys see that?
I've been
Yeah.
out there, I've seen it.
So I cleaned up all that stuff up along the
Yeah,
side.
thank you very much.
And, it's nice.
This is the stream running from next to the old garage foundation and upstream of that.
Everything does that.
I know, I know.
There's the little
There's
wall.
no such thing as intermittent streams anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
Well,
like,
like-
there's no such thing, intermittent
No,
lawns.
no.
Not after the grades.
What's under the road right there right now? You have no
It's
idea.
probably 12-inch concrete pipe, but
They probably have all rock around it or
Yeah,
something to get the
that's
HD
right.
out of it or something. Yeah. Boy, that's not
there's no
down.
way to clean it, it's not down at all.
No, no.
That's why I'm saying if we do something, probably should be out in the roadway, should probably be ducked up. But I'll talk to you want me
Yeah.
to approach them? Or?
You should, yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to
You
them.
think, yeah, whatever you think's the best way.
No, you should go talk to them. That's their.
What's with the sign with the imps and stuff, satanic imps?
Oh,
What's
my.
going on with the?
Don't start on that one.
Huh?
That's,
Don't ask. Don't ask.
that's on the list. All right, so,
I got out of my seat at 5:30. I meant to call you.
we're all good?
Okay.
I think so,
Yeah.
okay. What would you like to do?
Want to close?
Want to post?
Motion to close?
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank
I see.
Any
Do it.
conditions
Take
on
care. Yep.
the hearing? Do you want to
Do you,
make a, so you made a motion to close the hearing?
Yep.
Do you want to make another motion?
to issue the order, the only special conditions I'm seeing are to, we're gonna add the medallions. And,
Whatever else is listed in
The conditions for November 28th?
okay, November 28th is. Motion to issue an order of conditions for 9 Mill Street, noting the conditions in the November 28th report, as well as adding medallions to mark the wetlands as noted.
Do we also want to make a
Add that.
condition to,
Add this. Or removing the fence.
file for
The fence is already moved.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's on the plan.
the pipe across the roadway?
Yeah.
Work with DPW?
Yeah.
And file by June 15th, June 1st, and then
What do we have for the June 30th, or May 15th?
I'm putting a date out there.
June 30th?
That's right. With me.
That way it'll match the other timeline. Okay. So in that order of conditions, we're also gonna note that the applicant is going to contact the DPW on his own in regards to slightly raising the cover under the road and or replacing that. And we'd like to get that done by 30 June 2019.
That's good.
All right.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well done. Thank you.
Did you say 30 June?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Motion was
Good
made,
night.
motion was made and seconded by whom?
Very second.
Very seconded, unanimous.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, where
Robin Lane.
Okay, Robin Lane.
5 Robin Lane.
Robin Lane is a septic system repair that you did, that you issued back in June of this year. It's been recorded, everything's been cleaned up, and after inspecting the site at the end of November, it looks consistent with the plan, including the 4 permanent markers. I didn't see any conditions for continue in perpetuity on this, so there's no reason not to issue a certificate from what I can see.
Motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 5 Robin Lane.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you.
Yeah, seconded.
All right, 11 Pudding Stone Lane.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one.
Come on down.
Have
I
a
hear
easy
you're
view
up.
of it. I came solo tonight.
All right.
Here's that.
Unfortunately, I left my copy in the folder I sent you guys, which is fine. We can get others, but just so you have it.
Okay. The, in the time since Pudding Stone was last here, the hearing did close, but we received a waiver request that addressed the discussion at the last meeting on the 19th. We received a series of revised plans. I meant to bring them to you. You gave us like 8. We only needed 2.
All 8.
Yeah. The revised,
Better more than less, right?
better more than less, but I'll get them back to you. It addresses the revised plans. If you are interested, don't turn off over there. Has the new court surface detail. It's a permeable court surface.
Excellent.
Very wild.
Excellent.
The mitigation planting plan got put right on the plan, and that describes this area.
Yeah.
Here's the temporary siltation fence that was put in place to start the pool
While they're
work. The
digging,
pool work
right.
did begin.
Oh, good.
I understand that this has now been staked, and I'll get out there first thing in the morning
Okay.
to verify that location. What else changed? There's the mitigation that was picked up from on the side of the driveway, got put onto this plan, so it'll be easier to do the certificate of compliance, and that is referred to over there. And I just wanted you to know that he identified on the plan a 25-foot no touch. I'm recommending in the conditions that it reflect that there's a 50-foot no touch in this town, but that your permanent markers be identified along the wetland boundary. Along the limit of work boundary, because it's the new tree line.
Right.
This is just a permit for work, and I got to tell you, in all honesty, I lost my notes from the meeting.
Sure.
So the page of import for everyone is always a few pages in, because the rest is boilerplate. And so I identified all the new references to the documents. And when the documents become part of the conditions, then I try to reference them below. The special conditions there's only 8 special conditions that,
Is there 7 or 8?
Well, I'm showing 7.
and then buffer zone replication is 8.
Oh, good, good. Same
That's
page.
written in.
Yeah.
And then everything else, those are the customized.
Yeah.
Everything else is, do good work. And then I do pick up wetland mitigation. I ask that it be monitored on a regular basis to get the 75% success rate. And I do have permanent conditions suggested in perpetuity. No road salts on the driveway, which you probably wouldn't use anyways.
No.
No debris dumped in the wetland resource, which is a pretty standard item for this board. And then one of the conditions, the special conditions on the front, is a permanent. I recommend that the no disturb zone stay as a permanent condition also. That's number 6.
Yep.
So if you want to take a moment to read it and try to remind yourself what we were trying to do, that would be great.
No, I know the system.
It's actually
It's
one.
expensive.
Yeah.
I know the system. I actually did a driveway out of the part of that system
Are
before.
we
It's incredible.
individually signing these, or do we have a?
No, I have a signed sheet already.
Okay.
Have you
So what
seen
this
product,
is an
right?
opportunity
Yeah,
to.
we spoke to the company there, actually, like Fair Academy has it, and a couple of
Pretty
places that
amazing.
used it.
We
Yeah,
did-
for the
yeah.
subsystem.
I actually have a cut of it.
We
this
have it.
thick.
It's just a matter of reading
And you
it
can-
in order to
you
see
pour the water
if
across.
they're the conditions you intended.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
So
amazing.
there was
Amazing.
another condition that was, they were to evaluate and file for the vernal pool. Is that
That
on
should be
here?
That's
updated
on
for
number
public
2.
interest.
That is
Okay.
number. Yeah, thank you. Number 2.
Thank you.
And I do have a very clear statement that the applicant will be in compliance with this condition when the Conservation Commission is provided with a copy of the final decision on whether to certify the potential vernal pool that they.
That's fine.
So it leaves it open if
Correct.
it doesn't
Right.
pass.
It wasn't going to come back on you, no
Correct.
matter the adjudication of it.
Did we agree that the salt water had to be Mediterranean?
Himalayan,
Pretty sure.
actually.
Interesting.
Icelandic.
We did the clock on the fence.
I saw
Stormwater.
details of the clock.
You want to see this one?
But I think I looked
The
at it
markers
online
You
earlier.
got it? You want to see this?
It did
Yeah.
come in online, right?
That's right here.
No, it's funny to look at this.
Wish I
the
had
scale
two
is larger.
two-
As
two
you can see,
sets.
look at
Oh,
the
thank
stone, look at this here. So you can sort of get more into detail. You can see the
And they got moving along on the project.
Yeah.
grading. going
Uh,
on.
Once it gets
It's all
going,
the same.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
seems to
and
take
it's-
forever to get going.
Yeah. And they didn't hit any ledge, which was nice. You know, that's always,
Yeah.
and the name of our street is Rock, so,
Yeah.
for a reason. But yeah, we had no problem. which was
Wow.
good, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
certainly some
Yeah.
boulders along the way, but.
You actually missed the rains.
Yeah, it's good
That
stuff.
we-
All together?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mother Nature's been cooperating, so the
webbing on it.
Rebecca said, we're gonna
You
keep
could
going as long
Get
as
a
she
piece
lets us,
this
so
big, you dump a
Yeah.
gallon of water on
take
it.
advantage of the warm weather.
Almost go through as quick as you dump in the water. It's amazing, but it's expensive, it's.
That,
wanna do
that surface is
Yeah,
is
very
beautiful
expensive,
stuff,
yeah.
yeah.
Right, but I think that's what was needed for this project.
Yeah.
Water goes, as you say, you dump a gallon of water on it,
Really
it's
absorbs
just like, it goes right through it. Like,
Yeah, if you watch the
instantaneous.
little video on that, Rob,
It's
on
like,
their company website.
Yeah, it's like rock, they have
Yeah.
these, crossing strands of rubber,
You want it?
whatever it is.
No, I was trying to-
Crap.
I gotta fold it differently.
Oh, yeah.
Anal.
Yeah, we had to do a driveway down past that at one time. It was more expensive to do that than it was to do sewage. They made us do it.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for them.
Yeah,
So you can't think of any other conditions then?
I can't.
I think
No, we were
I
pretty
think it's
thorough
pretty
last
well
meeting.
enumerated.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have,
Yeah, I know you were thorough. The question is, but I didn't have a chance to watch the tape. So, I've got it, if you wanna, accept it, I've got the condition, I've got it signed from another day, from the 19th. I can, get this out and over to them this week.
So do we need a motion?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion, for 11, to, accept the conditions for 11 Pudding Stone Lane for the construction of a pool and, recreation court, inclusive of all the enumerated conditions, including, the, application for a vernal pool and, the other 8 special conditions enumerated in Andrea's filing.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4-0, thank you, gentlemen.
So how far have they gotten on the pool so far?
They plumbed it today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
They're like, this weather's great. I'm like,
This weather's great.
Yeah,
dress,
Yeah.
dress warmly, would you?
Permit to work,
But I mean, it's sunny.
I
It's,
think we did, we
It
just.
was
You're doing fine?
conditional, we just had to wrap, right.
So that's as far as they're probably gonna go though, right? They're gonna get just the plumbing done. They're not gonna be able to do,
they said they're gonna backfill tomorrow.
but that's it, they're not plastering or anything.
Oh, no, that'll, yeah,
Well, it's spring.
yeah, that'll be the spring.
We used to do it in stone dust. We used to like do it with the liners. You get in there, ridiculously hot day, and use a trowel, and you try to get the edges like on a perfect angles around.
Yeah.
It'd be hotter than I'll get out.
Mm.
I'll tell you what, it was a pretty cool thing to learn how to like trowel stone dust. So it was like, and that's what then the liner came in. The water created, it was pretty cool.
What's going on for a finish in there? Is it Pebble-Tec or is it just plaster? Is it a liner pool or?
Oh, yeah,
plaster?
liner.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
liner, okay,
liner,
never mind,
yeah.
never mind, okay.
I was like, oh gosh, I haven't picked that yet. If that's an option.
have you already, did you see the draft conditions online?
No, did you just post them?
I posted them, I actually I'm asking because we tried to have it not be available to be seen
Oh,
while they're being
I
drafted
know I was
before their
at
vote.
work right before this, so I wasn't.
Does anybody want to give her a copy of what you approved last night so she knows ahead of time?
I can give her-
Oh, thank you so much. I can keep this?
Yep.
Okay,
It's just draft.
okay,
but
great.
that's basically what we approved.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, so,
All right.
all set?
Thank
Happy
you, everybody.
holidays.
Yes,
Take
and
care.
same to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The only
Thanks for
minutes,
working for us, with us on this.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you to you
no,
guys too.
appreciate it.
the only minutes I have are for October 1. They're in your packet. You didn't get fancy packets. You got your agendas here and you got your stuff for the meeting on the next side.
Very
Okay.
streamlined.
Yep.
I do believe we have outstanding minutes needed for October 15th, November 3rd, or November 19th, and December 3rd, which is pretty one line.
Are we doing the Langwater Farm news for now?
Yeah, I'm just looking over these notes, I was just going.
I just wanted to bring that. I just wanted to bring that up, tee it up for a
Yeah.
conversation next week,
Okay.
or next meeting.
So, anybody wanna make a motion on these October 1 minutes?
I don't even know where they are, so.
I wasn't here, but
That's fine.
I read through the minutes.
We just push it on to the next one, Lori.
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm rolling.
I just
Which minutes were you?
October
October
1.
1, do you have
October 1.
others?
I've only got one.
That's October 1.
Yeah.
I've got November 5th and October 15th.
Okay, I don't think I think
Here, I'll give you-
November 5th might have been
Here's
approved.
October 1st.
They, I think those, let me check to see if those have been approved at the last meeting.
They
You
could
have
be.
November
November 5th and
October
when?
1st.
Yeah, I'll go first. So
November
I
5th,
have-
and what was the other date?
I have the
What did you
October
put?
1st.
Yeah, just those, she has them from another
Yeah.
meeting.
By the way, great job on the minutes. Our minutes are more up to date than any of the other
October
boards and committees in town.
They're not online. They haven't been online since July.
Oh.
Welcome to my world.
We've done our part.
Meetings do you have, which meetings do you have for November 5 and
I have October 1, October 15th, November 5.
October 1, October 15? Okay.
But I don't remember what we approved already, so I mean, I could be looking at something that's old for all I know.
Okay.
You
I
know,
think
it
I'm
sounds
only
good,
asking
Eva.
for the first tonight, because that's the only one I know is ready. I'll check the others.
I looked from, Easton. I wasn't here, but from my standpoint, it looked fine.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, the only note that I would make on it would be under absent. We would put Commissioner Farren.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
that's a
fine.
pretty important one.
My birthday, I turned 108, so I took it
Trying
down.
to catch up to Bill. Oh, fantastic.
There you go.
Okay.
By the way, I wanted to mention to everyone, I don't know if they, there's a, for anybody who's looking for like a great conversation about kind of zero carbon emissions and trying to get to limits sea level rising. There's an unbelievable piece on NPR on Saturday night. It might have been a replay, but I'm gonna try to get it and send it to you, Andrea. But
Yeah, I just did that the 2-week workshop thing. Yeah, very good.
it really talks about kind of the 6 silos of where you can really contain carbon. Something I never really thought about was agriculture, which is probably
To contain the agriculture, to contain the carbon.
yeah.
Oh, that's
They were
excellent.
talking about theoretically that the new government in Brazil, if they do what they're going to do in the Amazon, that could, well, no matter what everybody else does. And the other interesting point was that China is actually,
Yeah,
since it's 4 times as high. But the fact is that China right now is more compliant than the U.S. Other than they're going back to go, but what they've done is the mandate to have all cars being electric, and they'll do it. They will do it. They may end up being a net positive
China?
to the carbon footprint within 5 years.
China.
Wow.
It's shocking. What
Wow.
happens when you have a command economy in the state?
Motion to accept the meetings for October 1st with the change that Michael noted about Dan Farren being absent.
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Oh, thank
You
you.
got anything else?
I see we
Yes.
have something about a Langwater farm lease renewal, and
Arcade.
Hey, you know,
see
that is,
Mr. Chase is out here.
not
What's
to
going
go
on
off, but
tonight?
Okay.
I saw the,
33 Prospect Street.
I saw the
He's,
kids.
yeah, sorry, he didn't he continued just this,
No, that's okay.
and I should have told you, because I could
I'm
have
already
told the
out.
Concom.
You know, I need
Yeah,
some
true.
entertainment.
I saw the,
Did you read the notice of intent?
This is interesting.
Barely.
Okay,
I looked at the pictures.
guys, you want to think about the picture, you want to look at the pictures.
do
And
we
you
have
want
the
to think,
pictures
no,
yet?
you have the notice of intent online. You want to think about the restoration area.
Okay.
Because that's your call.
Yep.
There's a lot of wetlands on this site. And he cut into land that is owned by the town of Easton Conservation Commission.
I got to get out there.
So you need to think about, I think a lot, and so does Garrett, thinks a lot of the wetland vegetation will grow back. But you need to think about whether or not you want if that will be enough to have it grow back, or if you want to supplement it. You got to give me that.
Yeah, well, plus what he did
And
too.
then the only area he gave, which is new, is between the stone wall of the Beaver Brook and the little wall that comes up to the addition. That little piece of lawn is not going to become wetland area, but the wetland line, the historic wetland line, is shown on the plan, and it is in the lawn. And the question you have to ask yourself is
the lower part?
on the other
Back,
side, on the north
back.
side of the street, on the north side of the house, going toward the railroad tracks.
We're used to
So-
mow it.
So where the
He's
material
mowing.
is piled,
Yeah.
right, is it like I guess, what would you call that, like a French drain or something that's sort of there in the middle of the lawn?
Yes,
Yeah, and then, so you're looking at it, pull in, and there's all the materials piled here.
Next
the
to his driveway.
Tracks here,
yeah,
that belongs to conservation.
and so does the stuff behind.
Right.
But the historic wetland line, now that we know where it is from soils, is in the lawn. So the question you have to ask yourself: do you want to restore that? It's been that way for a long time, but so just think about it. And do you want medallions placed at the historic wetland line? So if you don't restore it, do you want him to let it go natural, or do you want to just
Have to go
do what you want
again,
to
I
do,
think.
or do you want to do option 3, which I haven't figured out yet. So just think of those are kind of decisions you guys have to
Can
make.
you remind me the timeline on this?
He filed his notice of
self-reported?
intent on time, and he
Yeah.
has to have the building raised
Oh.
by the 19th or something,
Yeah.
and he is on target to do it. And the building inspectors have a new respect for all of you.
I don't know.
So the lawn we were
This
talking
came-
about,
this
which
came
is
to our-
behind
our,
the area there, that
our
lawn that he
attention
was
because the
mowing.
building
Yes.
inspector
If he
changed the-
stops mowing that area and we have medallions
that's
put in
right,
there,
Mark
etc.,
said
and you
that,
can't
right.
make that a no touch, will that come back? In other words, that'll all come
Right
back,
now it's
right?
lawn grass, but it's really wet
Is he still
soil.
touching it though, or is he not touching it?
It's lawn grass.
Oh, he's still touching it.
It's lawn. Now I'm talking about the area that's lawn. I'm not talking. No, he has stopped.
Oh.
He has stopped fussing with what was wetland because it is underwater right now.
good.
It
Yeah.
is. It is doing what it's supposed to do. It's completely underwater. So, but think about the lawn grass. It's been lawn grass since a long time
The
ago.
river is like class 4.
And I'm probably not. I might make a recommendation about it, but I might just point it out as a fact in the staff report and let you guys take it
I
from there.
have to get back out there.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Might as well see
Well,
it right
Jonathan
now.
can tell you.
Is
Is
that
he,
some-
how
is
far
that
is
something-
he
Yeah, John, what do you
taking? Is
think,
he
John?
taking it
He's
down?
got half of it, the second floor of the half he's taken down
Oh,
is
good.
off, and there's some framing from the first floor
Oh, good.
still up.
But he's going to town on it.
Yep.
Because he went pretty quick putting it up, so hopefully he'll go
Yeah.
pretty quick taking it.
They usually
Good.
come down quicker than they go up, right, Paul?
I've never had that
No,
issue.
either.
No, they like gas prices, they go up quick.
Yeah,
They
they
come
do.
down slow.
Exactly.
Is that something we want to schedule, or are we going to just do what we?
Oh, I think we
usually
should
do?
go by
Well,
ourselves.
very good. That's what
Don't we have
I-
to do that too?
Well, we do, or
It's a lot
otherwise you
safer
you
if
can,
it's fast, yeah.
you can do it. But it's easier to do it the way we've been doing it.
I know we want to get going and everything, but I was on Bay Road, this was about 3 weeks ago, and I saw on a Sunday, I saw all the scouts were out cleaning up, down by Deer Run.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many people they had there. I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
you there was 75 people down there doing what they were supposed to do. It was pretty awesome.
That's
No, it
amazing.
is,
Yeah.
it's
I
great
saw
that they're
the
getting that
big
kind of
piles
support.
stuff
Oh, you
on
won't
the
believe
side
it.
of
Because
the
I
road.
remember
Yeah.
when they didn't get that
They
much
had a guy
support,
pull
so
up there,
now
he had
it's-
coffee
now
and
it's everything.
donuts, he set up, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
no, now
They
it's
do it
great.
right.
It's
Yeah,
a
it was
big
pretty
thing.
good.
Didn't you have something last time about scouts too? At
We
the
were
last
trying,
meet?
trying to do a walkthrough of the Flyway Pond, the new trail
That's right. Yeah.
by Max. But
Max's brother.
yes, you're right. Max's brother is now going to add to that, and we were going to go bushwhacking to see, how high the water is and where the trail could possibly go. But they're trying to reschedule it for next week.
Yeah.
So
How do they access? Are they going through where the town pool is? Is that how they access that
You
area?
can go that way, but they're probably gonna go in from Chickadee and I can't remember, something.
I walked through Tad DeCudo's property with him. Boy, it gets a little on his property, where he has done the cul-de-sac, where you go where they put him and Mark put in the subdivision there. Tad still has a lot back there, so I walked down
Yep.
there, and it's sort of cliffy on his
Right.
sort of.
So the trail would potentially be on the other side, because I'm gonna guess that some of those property lines go
Right through it, baby.
right up to the
Yeah.
point where you can't walk
Yeah.
any further between that property line and the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
So then you'd have to be going across somebody's property, and you don't wanna do
Yeah.
that.
No.
Whereas the town has all the property on the other side, it's just getting around the gun club. It's, how far up is
Yeah.
the water,
Yeah,
because it's pretty darn wet.
Nice water. I think
especially
you were
right
thinking
now.
about Aspen Hollow. There's a street that comes down.
Right.
And then where my ex-wife used to live there.
Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to tee up, last thing wanted to tee up was Wheaton Farm lease, not the barn, Wheaton Farm, the farm lease.
Line water farm?
Langwater is using, well, they're called Stone Soup.
Yeah.
But they are, the lease was signed in 2013 by Jonathan Chase as chairman of the board, chairman of the Conservation Commission, and it's got a 5-year term that's coming up December 16th, 2018.
Oh.
The term is an automatic. I think it's automatic. The term says that it's a 5-year will be item number 6. Sorry, I can send this to you if you want to read it. But the term was not to exceed 5 years initially, which is what we're just coming up upon. May be extended on the same terms, subject to the sole discretion of the licensor, which is you guys.
Yeah.
So rather than have a full public hearing where we give people the opportunity to, consider being, we're not going to go out for a request for responses. We actually, it seems like we owe another 5-year term to the first lessee. But I wanted to see if you wanted to go out to see the property, or if you wanted to have the farmers come in to the next meeting to discuss how it's going.
That would be nice.
And any changes that you or he would like to see in the upcoming years. We have to pretty much stick with these conditions, but at least you can get an evaluation of how it's been going for the last 5 years.
Well, our next meeting, we wouldn't be able to do that then. If this extends on the 16th, our next meeting is the 17th.
Yeah, well.
Rookie again.
I'm telling you, Mom.
Yeah, but you
We can do this and then have them come in and have a discussion anyhow.
yeah, I'm still waiting to hear from the if you were to extend on the 17th and it expired for a day, and the
Yeah.
16th is actually a Sunday, I think you're going to be okay.
I think we're fine.
Is that what you guys want to do? Have them come in the next meeting?
Yeah. See what they have to say.
Why can't we extend it based upon them coming in, just in case there is a legality there?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, does Andrea read that as being an automatic extension?
I'm checking with our contract attorney, town council contract
That's how I
attorney.
read it.
She and just to double check, but I asked for the point of clarification. I asked was, do we roll it over as is, or can we make any changes based on updating the current conditions?
But
So,
I guess the
that's-
question is, do we have to take action for it to renew?
Oh, I do think you do.
I don't know. That's the question.
Oh, I sort of
that
assumed
Mr.
that.
Chase is asking.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I would think you would have to.
And the way she read it just now, I think we have to.
That doesn't default.
Yeah, and if you don't, I sent her the contract. So if you don't, all good. I've seen past decisions on Tufts Farm where it was an automatic renewal, but a vote was taken to renew. So that's what I'm
Well,
going on.
No, it does, it's right here.
Maybe
Extended
it's
on the same term,
subject.
subject to the,
Yeah.
to the discretion of the licensor. So it says, yeah, we have to vote on it.
If it's by our discretion, I think
Yeah.
we have to vote on it.
We do, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I agree.
so is there, any discussion about not renewing this, or we just wanna talk to them in general?
I drive by it on a weekly basis and it's grown in leaps and bounds. And,
I'm just worried about timetable, that's all. If we
I am too.
late.
well, I think we,
I am too. I'm concerned, I would be concerned that this contract expires
That's right,
and then it's no longer a valid contract and we really don't have the right to renew it.
Right.
Would be my concern,
all right, so how do we get around that?
that we vote to renew it.
we vote to renew and we can
If that's what we wanna do,
How do you guys feel?
We can vote to renew it.
but I think asking the lessee to come in and give us an update on the property and how it's going for them, I think that's probably a reasonable request on our part. It's probably not required by contract to do so, but I think if we can get them in here to.
Yeah, I think as prudent stewards, we probably should be getting an update.
Yeah.
So how would we do it?
We can approve it based upon their update.
We could approve it now and rescind on our approval after their,
You
Well,
can
after
read
the
new
meeting.
motion next week.
right?
well, no, you're in effect entering into a contract as a landlord. So
The
you'd have to,
extension.
so you'd have to read the termination terms, otherwise they're standard, in which case, you know,
But why couldn't you add language to it, that we could
To our
rescind our
motion.
decision after we have our meeting? But at least to get it extended now, so we are,
Yeah,
As a conditional continuance until we have visited.
because I'm just afraid of it. Right now, if we don't up on it, right now, we go a day over,
correct.
it's all done.
Oh, or we could renew it until
So
January
has
1st.
the lessee reached out to us?
Oh, he knows about it. I didn't ask him to come. He and I spoke about it in the fall,
Yes.
and I told him that it would be coming up in December. And we actually were talking back months ago, saying probably by the Thanksgiving 1st of December, we'd get it on the agenda. He was happy to come in to talk, and then you guys.
So he's
He-
indicated his desire to continue this.
Not only does he have a strong desire to continue it, he has his perception of the lease was that it was a
Automatic.
10-year, because he's put money into it,
Yes,
and
he has, yeah.
and
Okay.
so it was
Well, we get
based
that.
on the assumption
So
that they would be 10.
My and I guess to answer Bill's question is there anything that he's going to come in and tell us that would make us not renew this lease?
Not that I know.
I haven't seen anything down there.
Bill, I'm just
No, I'm here, that's exactly what,
Then renew it.
no, I don't have a problem renewing it.
that's my suggestion is
Well, let's-
we take a motion to exercise the our discretion to renew the lease.
Yeah.
I make a motion to exercise our discretion to renew the lease.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Right, done.
4-0, there you go, done.
thanks.
And
Do you-
could you draft a letter asking him if he'd like to come in and give us an update? We would appreciate that. Like to hear about what he's got going on.
Would be nice.
Well, it looks nice down there, the
Looks
trash
wonderful.
barrels are
I-
never overflowing,
listen,
the
this-
parking lot hasn't turned, you'd think with all the different types of people who aren't used to
But a great
dirt and stuff, and they've been taking good care of it. The kiosk is well maintained. That's there's no damage or funny business.
I think it's been a very positive.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. If anybody's heard anything about this, any bees buzzing in your ears about, did anybody hear anything about the Governor Ames house? Something happening with it. Has anyone heard anything?
Which one?
The Governor Ames, the one from the governor from the 50s,
Because it's the original Victorian mansion.
was torn down in 100.
No, the one that's near next to Unity Close?
The one that's across, that's on,
Langwater?
Elm?
No, what's the name of the street? God damn.
Elm?
It's off of Elm, but you take down the
Pond,
left.
Oliver?
Oliver. That, I heard something about that house. Now, the house was built in the 50s. They tore down the beautiful house that was there before, and they built that, what's there, and it's just a wood structure, but there are some stone horse stables to the left, etc. But I'm hearing some buzz around town about something happening to that house. Have you guys heard anything on that?
No.
No?
No.
You like development?
No, like bad things, like undeveloping.
Really?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
That hasn't hit here,
No,
but
I'm just hearing it.
I'll check with, I'll check in the planning department and get back.
What, that it's deteriorating?
Well, it is deteriorating pretty bad because it was there before was a brick and stone building though, and it was beautiful. And he tore it down, his father's house.
Where is it in conjunction with the railroad station?
Oh, it's across the street. It's in the
Is it in the estate, the
Yeah.
landowner estate?
yeah.
So, so it's the house that's closest to the road from the estate as you go. in the
Right,
road.
if you walk in from the,
It's
From
in
the
between
turn-
Elm
from
and
the turn.
Oliver. It's a sort of
Yeah.
You don't mean the private property, you mean the trustee's property.
the trustee's property. Did you hear anything about that?
No.
I'm just hearing
did
things.
we hear
and-
anything about
And
it?
I've seen some of the trustees from Boston walking on the land that have been around lately a lot more. I'm there every day, and I'm starting to see them around.
No, they could be saying, hey, we gotta get at this, you never know.
I know there was a lot of them out when the tree
But
thing
the place
happened.
is leaking.
Trees and stuff.
It's having issues because it was not built like the typical Ames buildings. It's just a wooden structure.
I haven't seen
I
anybody.
have heard
over-
around town something about a discharge at shovel shop.
Do you guys need me for
Yes, we need you all night.
close?
All
No,
night we need you there.
no.
Gentlemen, I must bid you adieu.
Okay, good night. guys.
17th?
7:28.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.